We've been hearing COVID lately, and not so much SARS. So today I want to actually give you the basics of what COVID is, how it works in a really simple way. So my name's Nathan from the COVID Recovery Initiative, and this is going to be very, very simple. So first of all, we've got COVID, COVID-19. So we need to break this down into three parts. So we've got COVID, or CO, which is for corona. VI is for virus. D is for disease. And the 19 over here is for the year it was first discovered, or we realized that it was actually a problem. So that was late in 2019. Now, the virus, so this is actually the disease process. So this is not actually the virus. The virus itself is known as SARS. Just do that again. CoV-2. So SARS stands for Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome. And CoV-2 is coronavirus number 2. Because not many people know this is actually not the first time that this virus has been around. And CoV-1 was actually in 2003. But I'll talk about that more in another episode. So how does this actually work? Well, we need to think about coronavirus and SARS. So SARS enters the body mainly through the lungs, through what is known as the ACE receptors. So these receptors have a lot of different purposes, but this is how the virus gets into the lungs. And when a virus gets into a cell, then we find that this is the cell, and we've got just all the normal little bits and pieces that go within the cell. But when we get a virus within the cell, it basically just recreates itself until this basically explodes in some ways. So we have all these cells that come out and they come into the lungs. But not only does the virus come into the lungs, but so does all the different contents, of everything that's going on into the lungs. And this is what leads to what we know as pneumonia. Now, pneumonia is the build-up of the gunk, all these other bits and cells in the background. And as we have more of this in our lungs, it's like the sponge gets a little bit fuller. We just can't get the oxygen in, and our body becomes a little bit overreactive and protective. So it tries to kill the virus, but as a response, we get this immune response that makes a lot more cells explode. Now, they don't cause damage. Lots of cells die, but they rupture, and it leads to us not having that surface area in our lungs. So if we look at our alveoli, these are the small little sacs at the bottom or in our lungs, and we know that once we get a lot of fluid, then it fills the gaps sort of in between, and this means there's a lot less surface area here compared to usually, and this just makes it difficult to breathe. So, COVID-19 is the name of the disease process. The virus is SARS-CoV-2, and we know that it enters through the ACE receptors, ACE, or ACE2 receptor specifically. And within this, it causes the rupture in the cell. That creates the contents to come out, which spills into the lungs, and that means we just can't get the oxygen throughout our body. So hopefully this helps you understand in a simple way what coronavirus is doing in our bodies and the potential dangers and the impact that it has in our body. So thanks for listening. For more information, go to the covidrecoveryinitiative.com. Please share this because we really want to make sure that people understand this, do the best thing in their health so that they get it. But if they do get it, being able to help themselves take those next steps. Thanks.